Hello and welcome once again to True Yarn with Basi Ubaha. As you all know, I always try to start the show by saying a very big thanks to everyone who tunes in to the True Yarn podcast, and most importantly, you guys. Thanks so much for sharing across social media. Thanks for putting it up on Twitter, on Instagram. Like, you guys are the real deal. And also, if you're just joining, this is a True Yarn podcast with Basi Ubaha, and you are highly welcome. So today I'll be sharing with you 12 scriptures to boost your faith. So this is something you can listen to from time to time to just help whatever fear you're going through. These are words that will reinvigorate you in some way. As much as possible, you can listen to it over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. So the first one is 1 Corinthians 2 verses 5, which says that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. This one is strong. And also Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. 1 John 5 verse 5 says, who is it that overcomes the world? Only the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. And Romans 10 verses 9 says, if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. This is one of my favorites. 2 Corinthians 5 verses 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. So it is not what you see physically, but the faith that you have that God that has given you that vision or that dream is going to accomplish it. So we walk by faith, not by sight. And then Mark 11:22 to 24 says, and Jesus answered them and said, have faith in God. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. We are down to Philippians 4:13. I can do all things, all, not some, not I will try. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Also 1 Corinthians 16 verse 13 says, be on guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. Then James 1 verse 5 to 6 says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. I'm on this part. Be sure that your faith is in God alone. Sometimes you can pray to God and ask him for something, but in your mind, you are thinking of who he will use to help you. Wow. So this is saying, be sure that your faith is in God alone. So don't think of how he's going to do it. Just believe in him. Do not waver. For a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6 says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Then Psalm 120 verses 1 says, in my distress I called to the Lord and he answered me. So this kind of thing, like, probably you're going through something, and there are sometimes you just need to remind God of what he says. This one, you just say that, God, you said in my distress that I called and you answered me. So please, I've called, answer me as you have said in your word in Psalm 120 verses 1. And we're down to like the best of, for me, this is like my go-to scripture. Like, I can recite this over and over again. Even if I just wake up, I'm going through anything, this is my go-to scripture. 2 Timothy 1 verses 7. For God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. He has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power to influence things, love, that regardless of whatever you're going through, show love to people around you, let love lead, and of a sound mind. Like in the midst of everything, you can make good decisions. Like God has given you a sound mind. So if there's any scripture you really like, you can just pick it and just say, oh, this is the one I'm going to be using for the next couple of days. Just recite it over and over again and let it have roots in your heart. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. So I want to say big thanks to you for tuning in today. Thank you so much for listening. And if this inspired you and you felt led to share it, please ensure that at least you give us a feedback so we know how it's doing over at your end. And as much as possible, be kind to others, show love. We're in a season where there's a lot of panic and there's a lot of fear. So as much as possible, be kind to others. Those that do not have as much as you do, you can just go out, buy stuff. We're all staying at home, so make the best of this period and be your brother's keeper. You can send messages DM through our DM on Instagram. It's at TrueYarn, TrueYarn. And also you can send emails to trueyarnmedia@gmail.com. So I'll leave you with one last one. This one, everybody knows this scripture. Everybody knows it. Psalm 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge. I'd like you to say it along with me. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover me with His feathers, and under His wings shall I trust. His truth shall be my shield and buckler. I shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor for the destruction that wasted at noonday. Nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasted at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at my side, and 10,000 at my right hand, but it shall not come near me. Only with my eyes shall I behold and see the reward of the wicked, because I have made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, my habitation. There shall no evil befall me, neither shall any plague come near my dwelling. No plague shall come near your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over me and over you, to keep us in all our ways. They shall bear us up in their hands, lest we dash our foot against a stone. We shall tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shall we trample under feet. All of us, even as you are listening to this is God's promise to you. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he had known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Like this word, this scripture is so powerful. It's so powerful. Most recently, I've tried to recite it every day alongside 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. So, like I said, pick one of the scriptures. Even if you have another one, you can send us a feedback and say, you have some more that you'd probably like me to look into. That's fine. Like, the whole idea of this show is that we should learn from each other. So it's not just a one-way traffic, okay? I'm looking forward to feedback from you. If you have others that you really like, you can send a message to our DM at TrueYarn on Instagram, and also trueyarnmedia@gmail.com. Remember, you are God's masterpiece, and He has amazing plans for you. Never ever give up. Okay? Bye.